2 years living our dream in Spain. You see the sunshine, well, maybe not today. The fiestas, the beautiful towns, but what you don't always see are all the bills. This is what a year in Spain actually costs, and some of these numbers even surprised us.
Get me to Spain where I long to be.
Hola, gracias. Hi everyone, and thank you. Seriously, thank you so much. This week has been incredible. Not only did we reach our 2-year anniversary of living here in Spain, but something even more exciting.
Yes, we reached 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 of you joining us on this adventure, sharing our stories, asking brilliant questions. So we thought, what better way to say a massive thank you than to pull back the curtain completely?
Exactly. You've seen the fun, the fiestas, and the road trips. Now we're going to share the cost. Every bill, every expense for a full year of our life out here. And hopefully show you that if we can do it, you can too.
All right, first up, a big chunk for most people, housing. Whether you're renting or you've bought, it's a significant cost. We own our home here in Ciudad Quesada, so we don't have rent or mortgage, but we do have community fees paid every quarter, which pays for the maintenance and running of our little urbanisation, including the street lights and swimming pools. And then there is a quarterly Rurales local council summa, which is like the UK council tax and bins connection.
For us, our community fees are paid quarterly, and for the year comes to €527.16. Our summa and the bins are paid every 6 months, and that comes to €237.63. So the total for the whole year for our community fees and summa is €764.79. It's not insignificant, but compared to the UK, it still feels like great value for what we get. Next up are the things you can't live without, utilities. These can be quite different here compared to the UK. We have no gas, so we've just got electricity bill and water. So on average, our electricity bill is about €93.28 a month, which is €1,119.36 a year. Our water is paid quarterly, and that averages at €20.80 per month, or annually €249.60.
And our internet, which is super fast fibre, is $19.90 per month, and that hasn't changed in 3 years. And that also includes an international TV package, which gives us all the UK channels. And then there's our mobiles. I use Lobster, which gives unlimited calls to and from the UK, and 200 gigabytes of data for $12.99 monthly. Sue has Mass Movil and averages at $9.44 per month. All in all, for a full year, our utilities added up to $1,876.92. A lot less than we paid in the UK, that's for sure.
Next up, insurances. The only thing we buy we hope we never need to use. So first of all, we must have private health insurance as it's a condition of our NLV visas. And in 2025, we paid on average €105 per month each. This year, it's gone up slightly and it's going to be about 115, so 115. Our house and contents insurance was £269.31. which gives us market value rebuild and covering contents of €30,000. We thought this seemed a lot for contents and queried it, but we were told that the contents needs to include the value of kitchen units, etc., in case there was ever a fire.
Our car insurance for our Renault Clio was $362.07, but that also includes roadside assistance in Spain. So our total insurances for 2025 was $3,151.38. Hopefully it's wasted money and we never need to use it.
So we're here in Spain on our non-lucrative visa, which is a 5-year process, and then we can obtain residency. Our initial approval was for 1 year from 9th of March 2024. So 1 year on, we had to renew our visas, but this time it covers us for years 2 and 3. We used Upsticks again to handle this for us. Their charge for our renewals was €395 each, plus 127.05 for the approved translation service to translate all the requirement documents. So that was a grand total of €917.05 to renew our non-lucrative visas for another 2 years. Now on to my favourite category, food and food shopping. We love the shopping here. The fresh produce is amazing and you can really eat well for less if you know where to go. Mercadona and Lidl are our main go-tos, but we also love the local markets for most of our fruit and veg. We cook most of our meals at home, and for a full year feeding the two of us, our grocery bill came to approximately $3,640. Still slightly cheaper than UK, but not as cheap as it used to be, but I think the quality is much better.
Ah, the joy of Spanish life, eating out. A coffee and tostada for a couple of euros, a menu del dia that's fantastic value, or those amazing tapas evenings. This is a big part of the lifestyle we moved here for. We try to only eat out once a week. I am a pensioner after all, and we're on a budget.
Well, it's meant to be once a week, but Neil has lots of excuses for extra meals out, like birthdays and anniversaries. He says don't count in the once a week.
Well, they don't, but that's a special occasion.
And breakfast don't count.
They're breakfast, not a meal.
And if you eat it with your fingers, like a baguette or bocadilla, Neil says they don't count either.
Or if someone else pays, haha.
Over the past year, our spend for eating and drinking out totaled to €2,743.61. This does include Neil's sneaky coffees and cakes when I'm at Pilates and ice creams and things when we're out sightseeing. We can definitely afford to eat out more often than we could back home, and it's a good way to experience the country.
We've already said that our car insurance was €362.07, but what about the other costs? Car road tax was only €16.57, so cheap compared to the UK. We didn't need to pay for our annual service as we got 3 years free services when we bought the car. So our only other cost was fuel, which came to €658.67. We drove about 9,400 kilometres last year, so that works out only at about 7 cents per kilometre for fuel. So total car cost for the year, €1,037.31.
That's going to rise this year, though, as most of the petrol due to the war has shot up about 30 cents a litre this week at the local pumps. We do have a Spanish bank account, but we only use it mainly to pay our utility bills, community fees and SUMA. Our bank fees are €24 per quarter, so €96 for the year, which is quite cheap compared to a lot of banks. Ours is also handy for getting out cash with no fees. We'll probably keep the Spanish bank account until we've completed our non-lucrative visa process.
For everything else, we use our Revolut account, all our day-to-day shopping, transferring money from the UK and exchanging currency. We're on the metal level, which costs €160.98 per year. This more than pays for itself in the interest we get from the Revolut savings account. But other benefits we get are unlimited, no-fee currency exchanges at way better rates than the bank rates, and it also includes a free NordVPN subscription.
We have a local guest store who handles all our legal and tax stuff. They did a lot of work for us last year sorting out our first ever residence tax return and advised us on our capital gains from the sale of our UK house and saved us heaps of money there. They also sorted out our digital certificates and got us our certificate de residencia fiscal, which is the official certification from the Spanish tax department that states we're now Spanish tax residents, so we won't get taxed in both countries. For all this work, we were only charged €350, which seemed a bargain. So our annual banking and legal fees were €606.98. I go to Pilates class once or twice a week. This cost €145 last year. And my hairdresser, which I go to every 5 or 6 weeks, cost €201 for the year.
We pay monthly subscriptions of $13.15 for Apple Music, which we use every day, and $11.99 for Amazon Prime, which we really don't use much apart from the free deliveries.
I go back to Wales every 3 or 4 months, and I use Ryanair and Vueling airlines, whichever's the cheapest, from Alicante to Cardiff. My average flights are about €65 return, but that is just for taking hand luggage. I don't take a suitcase. So for these, miscellaneous costs add up to around €842 for the year. It's important, obviously, to have a buffer for this kind of stuff.
Now that we've looked at where the money goes, let's see where those euros actually took us. Because this is why we're here, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's not just about saving money, it's about experiencing things, the culture, the sheer beauty of living here. These are just some of the highlights from our last year. Okay, the big reveal. So after adding everything up, housing, utilities, food, fun, travel, etc., and those nobody told us things, what's the grand total in? So after 1 year of tracking every single euro, or most of them anyway, there might be a few things we've forgotten to add in. The total number for our spend in 2025 is €15,218.16. When we first saw that number, we honestly thought, wow, that's not too bad at all, actually. It all adds up, but we had an original budget of when we figured out our figures to come to Spain, that we'd spend about 15,000 a year. So I'm really happy with those figures, actually. We've done well here, and we really haven't skimped on anything. What do you think, Neil?
It's still significantly less than what our life would have cost us back in the UK for a comparable quality of life. The biggest takeaway for us is that it's absolutely achievable. The dream is real and the costs, while you need to be mindful, are manageable if you plan properly. So 2 years down, 1,000 subscribers strong, and a full year of real costs laid bare. But what about year 3? What's next for Get Me to Spain?
Well, we can't give away all of our secrets just yet, but let's just say there's more adventures planned, some new regions to explore, and maybe even a very special road trip on the horizon, and definitely more honest insights into the expat life here in Spain. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. And maybe let us know in the comments what surprised you maybe most about our costs and where should we go next.
We're so excited for what's coming. If you've enjoyed this look behind the curtain and you're curious about our next steps, please make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching.
Adios.
See you next time.
Welsh guys to Spanish.